Next team I'm going to talk about, well, they've been a disappointment all their own in a different kind of way. The White Sox, I wrote at the start of the season in my preseason storylines that Tony La Russa was gone. Now we'll find out how much of a problem La Russa was and how much the roster is flawed, how these things might balance out. Now, we've seen the White Sox start. It's brutal. I know they had that great comeback yesterday, and maybe that will be a launching point for them. Let's hope so. It ended a 10-game losing streak that was brutal in every way. And even yesterday, they weren't all that great. They had the great 7-run ninth inning that kind of saved them because before that, they had not played all that well. Now, this was supposed to be a different kind of season, right? New manager, Pedro Grifol, new coaching staff. La Russa was gone. And as I said, this was going to be the test. So the other day when I wrote about the White Sox and their trade possibilities, and yes, we should be talking about the White Sox trade possibilities at this point, a reader commented, "Ken, why don't you apologize to La Russa? You need to apologize to La Russa." And last year, if you recall, I wrote a column that was basically addressed to La Russa, "Dear Tony," saying, hey, this was at a point where he was not with the team. He was having health problems, and I said he probably shouldn't come back. Just take the time. He needs to get healthy and let the team play because it hadn't worked. And it didn't work. And two things can be true. Tony La Russa was not the right manager for the White Sox, and the other thing being the White Sox are a mess and flawed. I don't know where they go from here. Now, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. It's May 1st. Maybe they get back into contention. I don't see it, but maybe. But at the deadline, they're going to face some really difficult decisions. And I wrote about this the other day. You can trade your potential free agents. That's one thing. It doesn't really do much in terms of what you might get back. We're talking about Giolito. We're talking about Yasmani Grandal, who's owed a ton of money. Keenan Middleton, Ronaldo Lopez. You're not going to get much for any of these guys. Then you could take it a step further and go to players who have an extra year of control beyond this season. Tim Anderson, who would have some value. He is certainly one guy in that category. Liam Hendricks, if he comes back healthy. And Kendall Graveman, another reliever that could have some value in the market. I can see that. Lance Lynn, if he pitches better, also fits in this description. 1 year beyond this one. And then, if you want to go even further, you've got Dylan Cease with a couple of years remaining after this one, and you could really tear it all down. Here's the problem. The White Sox just tore it all down. 2016-17, that's what they did. Their owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, is 87 years old. You think he wants to go through another rebuild? There's no way he wants to go through that. And yet, at the same time, this is a team that went backwards in payroll this year. So Reinsdorf is not going to want to rebuild, but it doesn't seem like he wants to spend. I don't have an answer here, folks, and they're going to face some really hard questions at the deadline.